Now, going over to the political part podcast, you have Kamala commits to the US government paying reparations if she wins, which one would question, well, wait a minute, if you believe that now, why didn't you do that past 3.5 years? I don't think it's a good idea. I don't think it's moral, but I mean, why don't you, what have you been doing the past 3.5 years again? I forget. And this is a cliche, very divisive topic that Democrats bring up every 4 years. And don't get me wrong, it will get some votes. But again, you have to think about it. People who have never owned slaves paying taxes to people who have never been slaves. And I mean, shoot, you want to drill down to anecdotal evidence or my anecdotal thoughts on this. I mean, my mom's whole family came from Cuba legally. And contrary to, we actually came here on a plane. It was one of the last planes to get out when Fidel took over and destroyed the country with communism. But yeah, they came here and they never owned anyone. Why should their taxes pay for that? Same with myself. I mean, it's presumed you're a United States citizen, you're tuning into the show. You've never owned slaves. Some global viewers might, but yeah, just morally, why should your tax dollars pay for that? So again, this topic is very divisive. It has been for decades, and it's gotten people votes on the left and the right to say they oppose and they support it. Now, Kamala, this is good old on the X Twitter. Although this was originally posted by Nick Sorter over there. He says, quote, while Kamala Harris promised race baiter Al Sharpton that she would use tax dollars for reparations if she becomes president, this is insane. Enough the BS. I granted, isn't it a long format speech with all eloquence and brilliance explaining why? Maybe she does. Maybe it's a 5-hour speech and she explains it in great detail why she thinks it's a good idea. Obviously it's not, but this is a little excerpt of that little speech interaction. And let me make it larger on the screen here. And it's like she's speaking from a podium that's labeled the National Action Network. And I usually don't give him a modicum of credit, though I guess I will. Jesse Jackson did at least suit up for this occasion. He did one thing right. He did wear a suit, as all men should. What he's saying is dribble, but he at least did suit up. Now, without too much further ado, and again, this is Jesse Jackson speaking, and then Kamala's going to respond back.
But in the area of reparations for descendants of Africans enslaved, if you elected president, would you sign that bill if it came across your desk?
When I am elected president, I will sign that bill.
That laugh. It is iconic. Not in a good way, but it is iconic. And this will, I mean, I understand why she's doing it in terms of moves on the political chessboard. They do it every 4 years. And there will be some people who vote for it just for the free money. I mean, that shouldn't be too surprising, but I think a lot of libertarians, a lot of people in the middle, and people on the right, this is a historically political issue. This, as youth might say, this isn't going to fly. I don't think it's going to get her more. I think it's going to alienate more votes than get her votes in the coming election. Now, pre-fall got about 5.3 million views, as well as 60,000 likes. And one of the first comments coming from Planet of Memes. I'm a little disappointed they did not use a meme; they just used text. They're doing so good today on the show. They had a couple memes earlier, but nevertheless, the Planet of Memes says, "quote So Kamala Harris wants to take money from people who were never slave owners and give it to people who were never slaves." Got it. Yep, that got 4,000 likes. Guthrie Eagleman says, quote, stealing more taxpayer money, getting 3.8 thousand likes. Nick Sorter says, more like buying houses not illegal, getting 3.1 thousand likes. Good question. I suppose this will eventually make it, would it make it to the Supreme Court? Be interesting. I know they said no to the quote unquote student loan forgiveness, which is a very little fancy way of saying taxpayers paying for stupid degrees that did not yield a good return on investment, which stinks. I think it was one of the greatest lies of our generation was the teachers unions from middle schools, high schools, brainwashing kids to think they could only be successful with a college degree, which, yeah, hilariously or interestingly enough, I've interviewed about 42 people now on my interview show, the Topping Talk show, podcast, and yeah, I've met, pretty much most of the millionaires I've met have at most a high school degree, with some of them actually dropping out. And most of the people I know with college degrees still have college debt, showing that the ROI is clearly poor. But I partially digress. You have George saying that laugh is very telling. She's laughing because they believe she'll do something like that. She prefers to give illegals free houses. Getting 1.1 thousand likes and bringing up another controversial thought of hers. Or perhaps more accurately, her handlers that are telling her. Well, Turtle says no person alive deserves reparations, getting 3.1 thousand likes. Nick Sorter says nope, they had just an equal opportunity as the rest of us. Get to work, getting 1.4 thousand likes. That is one of my favorite political, I don't know if it's a political flag or a cultural flag, but someone had a flag was going viral on social media a couple weeks ago, where it just says, "No one cares, work harder," which kind of like that. AKA says, "That's ridiculous. My God," getting 123 likes. Chuck Costello says, quote, "Will the media cover this?" It's got 621 likes. Nick responded saying, "Nope, they had memory hold it," getting 491 likes, which, why wouldn't they? I mean, this is, again, this will get votes from leftists. And this will get some people, I mean, it's free money. People will vote. People vote for that all the time. I wonder, because on average, I think maybe the DNC is more politically divisive enough where they won't run ads with this. But I think they would. Let me know if you think differently. Scrolling down more and more, let's see any contrarian statements here. Not thus far. Bolin says her ancestors owned slaves. She should set up and pay those descendants out of her personal bank account. Getting 361 likes, which was perhaps one of the most hilariously interesting things in terms of the only U.S. president to never be related to those who had owned slaves, historically speaking, was Donald Trump. And yet they call him, the most racist, evil one ever. Ziki Soja says, quote, "Kamala will do anything to earn votes. That's who she is," getting 111 likes. Let's see. Deplorable Rick says, "Hasn't our government stolen enough tax dollars from hardworking Americans?" Getting 88 likes. True. So for them, it's never enough. If Americans were really, really good at math, they'd be pretty depressed or pissed off and revolt tomorrow. Because just for a second, just think, the feds steal 40% of your paycheck. If you live in a state like California, they take 13% of your income. Then you got sales tax, another 10% maybe. You got property tax, alcohol tax, tobacco tax, gasoline tax, toll tax, telecommunications tax, wealth tax, capital gains tax, Social Security, that Ponzi scheme. Out of every dollar we earn, how much is really our own? It's pretty depressing to think how little that is. Yeah. But, again, this will probably get her some more votes. But do you think, because again, this has been a very divisive political strategy for decades, at the end of the day, do you think it's actually net Kamala Harris more new voters, or do you think it'll just alienate more? Let me know in the comments, because as always, it'd be fascinating to hear what you have to say. Thank you, everyone, for taking the time to tune in. Again, trying to get to 4,000 subscribers by the end of the month. So if you can click that button, I greatly appreciate it. Also, give me a thumbs up, thumbs down, or comment is a great way to give me some additional feedback, letting me know how I can make the show better and better. Lastly, don't forget to take time to tell your family, tell your friends, tell your coworkers, heck, tell your enemies, tell anyone and everyone. Just stay safe, fight the good fight.